Welcome students for the second online lecture on standard deviation. As discussed in previous lecture, we will be having second method to calculate standard deviation. Now first type of data representation we have learned in previous lecture, that is individual series. Now here we are supposed to discuss ungrouped frequency distribution and how to calculate standard deviation in this case. If we pay attention towards the first sum is about age of girls from a particular school. 10 age, there are 2 girls, 4 girls are of age 11, likewise for 20 girls data is given. We are supposed to calculate amount of deviation in age of these girls from a particular school. Now formula is this: standard deviation is equal to positive square root of summation fi into xi minus x bar bracket square divided by capital N. Now we are involving frequency and we are replacing small n by capital N. Capital N is nothing but total of all frequencies. How many girls are present? Number of values gives us capital N. Okay. Now my job is to find out these two, again numerator and denominator values. Denominator is very simple, I have calculated. Numerator is somewhat tedious because we have to go for a column. Instead of one, we have to go for 2 columns. I have to first find average value because I need x bar in subtraction. So I will be going for average value. Now average formula is known to us, summation fi xi upon capital N. We have learned it for frequency distribution. Now when we have a frequency data like this, our first basic formula for arithmetic mean is this. So let us first calculate arithmetic mean, and for that we need to have the column fi xi. Now frequencies into variable values, we are used to it. If we multiply, we get these values. Total is 242. If I divide it by number of total of all frequencies, that is number of values, we get 242 divided by 20, that is 12.1 as average age of girls. Now my job is to find out this summation of fi into xi minus x bar bracket square. Now for that I am preparing one more column, fi into xi minus x bar bracket square. So let us understand how to calculate. Now first we will go for bracket using Bodbas method. First calculate bracket xi minus x bar. These are x values and x bar is here 12.1. So 10 is the first variable value minus the average 12.1. Whatever is the difference, square it, and after squaring that number, multiply it by its corresponding frequency, that is here 2. So 10 minus 12.1, difference you will square and multiply by frequency 2. So you get 8.82. Similar way for second, 11 minus 12.1, square the difference, multiply it by 4. We get 4.84. Then 12 minus 12.1, square the difference, multiplied by 7, you get 0.07. In this way, for remaining values, you calculate and get the total as 27.8. Now we have got both the values. Let us substitute them in the formula. Formula says square root summation fi into xi minus x bar bracket square divided by capital N. Now this numerator value is this and denominator value is this. So let us substitute square root 27.8 divided by 20. Divide, take square root, you get the answer as 1.18 at standard deviation. This much is the amount of deviation in age of these 20 girls on an average basis. And if you square this value, you get variance 1.39. Okay. Now, like previous method, if we expand this a minus b bracket square, if we multiply it by fi and apply summation, we get another formula, which is this one. Standard deviation is equal to summation fi xi square. Here square is of only x term. Summation of fi into xi square divided by capital N minus summation of fi xi divided by capital N and square is of entire bracket. So we have to calculate 3 terms: fi xi square and capital N. So let us consider the second data, second sum, where marks of students in a particular examination are given to us. And how many students are getting marks, respective marks is also given, that is frequency. And if you add all frequencies, you get 60. My job is to find first fi xi and then fi xi square. I have already got capital N. Now I will prepare 2 columns, fi xi and Fi square. Now these are Fi values, these are Xi values. Multiply them, you get these. Total is required. Then Fi square. How to calculate it? We have already calculated Fi. It is nothing like Fi square is Fi into Xi into Xi. We have already got this. Multiplied again by Xi, you get the answer. So referring this here, 80 into Xi. Fi into Xi. 80 into 10, 800. 240 into 20, 4800. Likewise, I have calculated all values and total is available here. Now, write down the formula and substitute values in the question. Now, formula is summation Fi Xi square upon capital N. Summation Fi Xi square is 67900 divided by capital N, that is 60, minus summation Fi Xi, that is 1850 divided by capital N 60 bracket square. So first divide, then square it. Here divide, then subtract, you get square root 180.98, and if you take square root, you get 13.45 as standard deviation, amount of deviation in marks obtained by students using standard deviation. If you square this value, you get 180.98 as variance. So any one formula you are allowed to use, whichever you feel easy to find or to apply, you can use. Again, if your values are fractional, average is fractional, you can go ahead with the second formula or first, your choice. Right now I am giving you two sums to solve to have a practice. Solve both sums by both methods and check the answer. If you pay attention, third sum is size and fourth is weekly wages. Calculate standard deviation for both by both the methods. Reference answers are also given. Please solve it and have practice. In next online lecture, as discussed, we will be going ahead with grouped frequency distribution, that is having class intervals, and in that case how to go ahead with calculation of standard deviation. Till that time, do practice.